And this is Melissa, your Fringe Psychic. It is June the 2nd, 2026. Hi, you guys. Hey, Ivy. Hey, Kay. Let's see I'll put this up here, what you got to say here. Hit the like, please. Thank you. Ivy says, Melissa, the felon is in full-blown dementia to the point where we hide guns placed to relax and the nuclear goes, right? Yeah, we're moving from his site. Melissa, the felon is, oh, you said that, yeah, here's, media and MAGA still in denial, not even reporting this. So you guys, I'll say this again and again. I know it's hard to kind of get into our heads because it's so crazy. The media won't report on it because the media, it's not like the media is asleep or in denial. They don't work for us. They work for the thug, and they work for Putin. They work for China. They work for any of our enemies, none of our allies. They are owned. They are owned by our enemies. They're owned by the oligarchs, the 1%, the billionaires. They want to, they created the gaslighting and I shouldn't say they on their own. Obviously, this administration, that's the one thing they have to be qualified in, is how to sufficiently gaslight. And I swear they use KGB tactics, old Russian tactics, to get us into compliance. They want us to be in compliance. It's not that they're not neglecting their duty in that perspective, because their duty is to their owners. So they're not going to report the truth unless they're independent, or unless we break up this monopoly or cartel or illegal conglomerate of media interests and trace the money. Really, there should be some kind of law where public media that has a pretense of as if they're reporting their American interests or whatever, that they should be owned by the government, the people, not by private corporate interests that spent years creating this heist, this coup. So I just want to say, don't waste your time banging your head against the same walls. Why isn't the media paying attention to this? They are not instructed to pay attention to this. They're doing the opposite. They are fulfilling their job requirements, which is to gaslight us. And that's what they're doing. And, so we have to look at it from a different perspective. Like, when are we going to own the media again? When are the people going to, when is the public going to get to have their own media representing the people's interests and not the 1%? Or Putin's interest, or Xi's interest, or Elon Musk's interest, or Bezos's interest, or Thiel's interest, because all the money. And I think once you figure that out, it just kind of decreases that kind of frustration. I mean, it can be replaced by rage and anger that we're at this point, but we definitely have been the frogs being boiled regarding the media. Thank God for independent and media and YouTube, and I'm just so grateful for all its issues. Hey, Wildflower. Hi. Hey, Selma. Hi, BG. Hey, Artistic World. Yay. Hi. I love the fact that Stephen Colbert, after the last day of his show, after having been fired by the laughable now station for CBS, is it, or NBC? One of those stations. Is it CBS? Somebody tell me. But he came to Michigan, my state, to Monroe, which is kind of really on the border of Ohio. but it's in Michigan, on the shores of Lake Michigan. And he did a show there with Jack White and all, and I think Steve Buscemi and all these different people showed up. It was amazing. And it just proves that the art is in the performer. It has nothing to do with the station. The station should be honored that he's on there. But I think their viewers went down by 85%. And he started his own channel, Colbert, and it's doing phenomenally well, of course. And that show is brilliant. It reminds me of the early days of Colbert's humor. Was it Strangers with Candy or something like that? That show. So that was wonderful. And he'll be as impactful on his own channel. God knows what else he has planned, but all these famous people are going to come to his channel. They don't care. That it's not prime time. Did anybody else see his show? I didn't see all of it. I saw some of it, but it was pretty good. Jack White was there. It was really funny. I love that kind of humor. It's just really deadpan, and it's brilliant. So artistic worlds, it all seems to be bubbling right now. So we must assume it's all coming to a head. Yes. It's funny you should say that, because my guide said to tell you guys that, exactly that it's all, coming to a head right now, everything. And you can see how ridiculous the orange thug looks like in the world's eyes, and our eyes, considering this monstrosity, trashy amphitheater or whatever he built in front of the White House, and all the artists opted out except for, I think, two. Hey, Marby. And I think the Orange Thug is upset. It was supposed to be this nonpartisan kind of state fair, but of course, very quickly the musicians figured out that it was or were told that it's a Trump rally, and what a waste of our money. But also another, don't waste your time banging your head against the wall asking why he spent, all this money is being spent. I'm telling you, and I do have to disclaim here, entertainment purposes only. I'm just a girl talking to her guides. What do I know? And it's not fact or anything, but this is just what I get from my guides, just from my own common sense. Not making any accusations directly, but I mean, what I think it is money laundering. Everywhere you look, money laundering, and that's what money launderers do. They, build these monstrosity or start these ridiculous projects, and it allows them cover, to pocket the majority of that money, and very little of it actually goes to whatever it's supposed to be intended for. Can somebody tell me, isn't that how money laundering works? And the grift, it's to steal as much of the people's money as possible. You make up any excuse, smoke and mirrors, and then voila, off to the races. Like with the majority of the money, God knows where it really ends up. So anything that, and I think this is including the illegal war on Iran, just trying to, get rid of as much of our arsenals as possible, probably so that, other companies can get contracts. And it's never what it seems. That's what I think. It's all like a criminal activity on how to, get away with the biggest heist in history. That makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you guys? Let me know. Ivy says our beloved White House looks like a dump site. Will they clean up their mess? Almost. And Ella, it will get cleaned up eventually, whether he cleans it up or the administration cleans it up or we end up cleaning it up. But that is contempt. What he's doing, what's going on with all of these whale projects or whatever, it's contempt for our country. Because again, I say this, I said this last week. In my opinion, I'm just a girl talking to her guides, but what I hear from the spirit world is, it's a big coup, and if you have another country or other interests that are not, democratic, constitutional American interests, they're going to do what they're going to do. It's not going to make sense to us because it's not about governance. It's not about good governance. They could care less, just like the Orange one said, I don't care, right, about the American suffering from, the economy and from rising gas prices. I could care less. That's what he said. And I think he was being extremely honest about that. So, Jay, saying, where is the Orange Thug now? He's been missing? Is that true? Where is he? Ask the guys. Where is he? My guys say not Walter Reed, but there's a hospital or medical facilities at the White House itself. That's where he's been spending time. He's very ill. Um, did you hear the fake medical report? He's so healthy. But the guys say the truth is he's very sick. Allegedly. Okay, so when I say the rest of this, because we know he's sick, he knows he's sick. I mean, our guys tell us he's sick. He has been having. Remember last week? If you guys were here, a lot of you were. I think we're talking about stroke. Somebody asked me, and then started hearing this week. Yes, stroke from I don't know, media or the Midas brothers, people like that, and his health has been a speaking point, or it's been a lot of podcasts regarding that. What is it that they're having problems with him? Not saying blood pressure. I'm just asking my guides with my pendulum for anybody who hasn't seen me do this. It's many things. It's not just one thing. That's why he had to go get that physical, his quarterly physical, I think. Whatever, which third or fourth physical. So one of the problems he's having, and none of this I think will surprise you, is oh, interesting, Ivy. I'll put that up. Oh, hey, Palmyra, and I'm glad you're here too. Okay. Well, the heart is one. Mental decline is another, like really severe dementia, affecting his ability to stay awake. So narcolepsy, I guess, would. And then, yeah, major incontinence. A friend of mine was going to send me a video of him, I guess, just obviously having allegedly obvious bowel movements. I told him to let him see it because I believe it. So he's really having it's worse now, and they're showing me he might need a what are they called? Okay, things always escape me when I'm doing this show because I think that's just normal for doing maybe a podcast or a live show. Colostomy bag. that he might need that. But that makes sense. But that's what they're saying. And there's other things too. They're showing me like vestibularly, which, the balance is really off. And there's many a time when he could have very easily fallen downstairs or fallen off a balcony or something. But, his security guards were able to save him. But he has really poor, like he gets a lot of, not vertigo, but like his sense of where he is in space and time is really poor, which I think is typical of frontal temporal dementia or various dementias where he just has a really hard time, like being able to judge distances. Going down the stairs is very difficult for him. He's very off balance, so that's a problem. And let me see if there's anything else here. Those are the major issues. And it's just because he's getting worse. He's done things like, that trip to China didn't do him any favors. With the stressors of the barometric pressures of travel on his arteries, and a lot of edema, a lot of swelling, a lot of edema. And, it's one thing to manage or maintain those problems, and he's got the best healthcare in the world, but allegedly, I guess. But you have to follow a consistent course of treatment. And if you go off grounds or boundaries with that, then there's going to pay a price. And sometimes you can't come back to where you were before. Sometimes it's just exacerbated the problem. It's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse. So it's like patching up. You keep patching up a tire or something, but at some point you can't anymore. It's like there's hardly any tire left, something like that. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. BG says the California elections are today. Did the guide see a Becerra Steyer runoff or a Becerra Hilton runoff for November? I think yes. And I promised myself in the last video that I wasn't really going to seriously predict elections, because I was getting nervous doing that. And I don't know if that gets in the way of me being accurate or not. I've been wrong enough times. Especially recently. I think, seeing Kamala Harris being elected, which she was. She did win, damn it. But that, but I couldn't see that there would be a coup and she wouldn't be allowed to be our president. So it's kind of hard for me to, especially on the spot, predict, because I do have emotions, especially about California. But if I'm wrong, I'll do it. Eventually I might say, no, I'm not going to make a prediction at all, because it's probably stupid that I do that. But I will right now, let's see. But I think Becerra will be the Democratic candidate, and maybe a Hilton runoff. We'll see. But I do think Becerra is going to win. I'm pretty sure about that. He's a good man, and I think that he is very much liked. Mark says clots and stairs. Are we talking about the orange one? Oh, you're welcome, BG. So it's so weird. Everything that the pubs, the Republicans, I'd like to start saying Republicans in name only, because they're so good at gaslighting and kind of twisting things. Because really, MAGA are Republicans in name only. They're not really Republicans in the sense of conservatives and conserving our monies. So anybody they call a rhino is actually really like a modern conservative, MAGA and Trumpism. That's rhino, isn't it? I mean, if you really think about it, but they always twist things around and they, throwing whatever they threw at Biden. Oh, he's so old and demented and blah, blah, but that all is, that wasn't true. Whatever issues Biden had, he did not have dementia. And instead, this government and the orange one in particular have everything they accused Biden and his administration of: lawfare, right? Weaponization of the law. Let's do it. It's like they're announcing in advance. Every accusation is a confession, and it's down the line. Down the line. Abby's asking, will the people in Delaney Hall be safe? Can you tell me more about it? I'm woefully ignorant of that issue. Can you tell me what the issue is, and then I'll ask the guides, okay? Thanks. Sorry about that. So it's such a challenging time, but truth is on the line, and really resonating with truth, like exploring what is truth. It seems to be a karmic thing for us collectively. We're up against it. For people who can recognize what the truth is, which is in alignment with, a divine light and spirit, and then falsity, which is not ever aligned with the divine light and spirit. Never will be. Oh, the ones who are on a hunger strike. I will ask, because how horrific. It's very hard to listen to the reporting on that, because the Nazi concentration camps. Yeah. And the people of New Jersey have to reject it, yes, it will come down to the wire, but then it's like, they will be free. They will also get in, what I'm hearing the guys saying, they also will get, what is it, restitution? For what happened to them, major lawsuits. Yes, but that will end, the guides say, and it will end when, before the end of the summer, things will start turning around for those poor people. And I guess and I'm not blaming karma for everything, but that's their karmic kind of situation to be in, this kind of standoff with evil. And their choices they're making as they're being challenged with such horrific, sadistic torture. And you can see Stephen Miller's face written all over that, can't you? So, yeah, I think so. We can pray. Prayer is powerful. We can pray for them too. Some might around them, pray for the situation to turn, ask the angels to intervene. Sometimes angels can't intervene without humans asking them to, because they're here to assist us. But we're the ones here dealing with free will and all of our karma. They can't obviate karma for us, but they can. If we ask them to help, they can start intervening. Just remember that, not to just wait around for divine or angelic intervention. Prayer is very powerful, and we're the channels for the light. We're the channels for that prayer to manifest, for the light to anchor and be present. That's a really important relationship that we have with the angelic realm and the divine. It's not just passive. It's very active and very interactive as we talk about manifestation and about the intervention in human affairs. And it strengthens our relationship with our angels and our spirit guides as we pray, as we offer ourselves up as channels for them to manifest here on earth. So I hear, so they tell me. And I believe that in my book, that was a big part of it. The book that I wrote, A Bridge of Light, How to Pray to Angels, that was the information they gave me all throughout that book. So any more questions here? You're very welcome, you guys, Earth Mama and Ivy. How you guys doing? How's it going for you? How's the we can call this the late summer, or no, late spring, or we could call this early summer, I think. It's so beautiful here. The peonies are opening up. Oh my God, that first round of flowers after the dandelions and the daffodils, and the perennials, roses and honeysuckle vines and everything like that. I see so much beauty around me right now. I love it so much. Kathy's asking, I'm wondering how far in the list the maggots have gotten with Project 2025. Well, they've gotten very far peripherally, but I feel like they went too fast. So however far they've gotten, it's not going to be permanent or lasting. And there is a Project 2029 from the Democrats that is very clearly a list for their goals and targets. I have to find a link to it. It's pretty cool, actually. But they're being proactive and creating their own plan, which is, to not just to right the wrongs of Project 2025, but to actually put in fixes or to help fix or repair, the loopholes that have allowed this to happen in our Constitution and our legislation. Oh no, Ivy. Well, cancel. I hope you can cancel the 9 or send back the 9 orders. Oh no. If I could cancel them for you, I would. I think there'll be time. I didn't, you don't need to order my book 10 times. Oh no. If you need instructions, just let me know. I can help. Earth Mama says 73 today. My roses are blooming. I have this beautiful big rose tree in my garden. It's virtually a tree. It's a Rosa Galactica, and it's just full of pink blooms. It's so beautiful. Oh, good. When technology goes awry, it's maddening. Yeah, let's not let this summer, this beautiful season or seasons to go by without having time to just really appreciate them and be in the moment with them, because there's so much beauty around. Whatever's going on in the world. Carolyn's saying, I saw Kevin Roberts beaming about how far they've gotten, 12,000, some of 19, or 1,200, some of 900, 1,900, some of Project 2025. I wondered if he was telling the truth. Let's see what the guides say. I just see the changes they make just being temporary. They think they've made these changes. They Doge was part of that, right? And getting rid of departments. But I don't see it being unfixable. And ask the guides about that. It's on 2025. It's just like they're showing me, like, a piece of paper that gets wet and, torn up is just kind of cast aside. It's not going to be irreversible what they've done. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome. That's all right. Not you're welcome, but it's okay. It's okay. Kevin Roberts of the Heritage Foundation. They're too busy, like, just charging full head. With that, like, God, I can't think. Like, just full bore into it, but it just isn't gonna. My guys just show me that lasting. Everything being fixed. Oh, that's nice of Mama. She says her lavender is in full bloom. I love lavender. Carolyn says it was just a clip from C-SPAN. They want to think that, and also they probably have people to report to that are asking them, but they're such liars and such ne'er-do-wells, and they're pretty lazy and all kinds of bad habits. And sometimes I think they think they've completed something when they really haven't. They always remind me of, like, the employees of the Wolf of Wall Street. However that was functioning or not functioning. BG says, at Mom, Melissa, yeah, I looked into the race and that's what it kind of looked like to me. Not kind of, it did look like that to me. Becca and Hilton runoff. Thanks, BG. Yes, thank you, Earth Mama. Project 2025 is not us. Ivy says, yeah, I'm a trad wife 4 times now, solitary. Yay. Oh my God. So you broke free of the trad wife slavery. I watched this video channel. I think it's My Life Take Two or something, about a woman who said she was like a Mormon trad wife, MAGA Christian, and she talks about her story and how she finally broke free from that. It's very interesting, like her insights into that world. So, see what else my guys wanted to talk to you about. There's always more, they say. Okay, they want to go back to Project 2025. No. Yeah, they may have managed to fire people from the government and break up, funding institutions, but it's just nothing is permanent. Everything is like they're showing me an eraser. Everything can be erased. And what a waste of time, and how cruel, especially, cutting off funding for sick children and all the good that money was doing, and that they had the nerve to be on their, like, they think they're on their high horse. America first. We can't give money to countries to protect their children or to protect their women or to protect their them. But they honestly, they feel the same about this country, because they're certainly not protecting us from any of those things, from poverty, from hunger, from disease. We're all the same globally. They're treating us all the same. They're not treating Americans any better than anybody else. Yeah, pretty much. So the guides say, you must remember that this operation is an illegal like a robbery. And when those kinds of things happen, they don't really set up, institutionalized policies very well. Everything's very impulsive. Like if you take away something, you need to put something in its place. They never do that, which is a huge flaw because they're just not thinking long term. Like look at Peter Thiel, right? Where is he now? He flew to Argentina or fled. Well, I'm sure he flew there, and he, he whatever he planned to do here kind of fell apart. It's going to fall apart for all of them, and they're all pretty much. They all have Plan Bs. Leon definitely has lots of Plan Bs. They all do. Private islands and countries with that don't have extradition policies here. I think pretty much they right now everybody is pretty sure that the Democrats are going to win exponentially and put the kibosh on this free for all. And I believe that's true. I believe the Democrats will. So let me see what else. Thank you, BG. Put that up here. Hit the thumbs up, folks. Carolyn says, I thought it might be propaganda to give us a false sense of their success. I think so too, actually. I think that is a part of it. The guides say yes, exaggerating their accomplishments, for sure. 100%. It's like TP USA, I found out, and I had had this sense all along. My guys were saying that, they bragged about having thousands of TP USA offices in all these high schools, but actually I listened to podcasts that just basically said no, it's a lot less, and they're just bragging. It's a thing that they do. It's like a fatal flaw, really, that MAGA does, and this right wing takeover these people do is lie about success, kind of like the way that the orange one is about Iran. And somehow that's really important, even though it's false. Somehow you have to gaslight and pretend, that you're a lot more successful than you are. It's like how you get ahead. And I think that the Project 2025 people aren't any different. BG's asking, do the guides see Johnson stepping down from the speaker before the midterms? I have seen that for a long time, and my guides have shown me. If it doesn't happen, I mean, it's going to happen eventually, but I think there's a big possibility that will happen, yes, before the midterms. Yes, I think so. We'll see. It looks like that. The energy feels like that. Whatever happens, happens, but do we know where in Venezuela who's Till? Do we know where in Venezuela Till is? You're not talking about Till because he's in Argentina. And that whole Venezuela thing that was also major gaslighting. It was a robbery, like a piracy of their oil. It made no sense. It's so illegal. Kath says, the Tech brothers and Leon engineered a hostile takeover of the American government. Your guides see the information coming to light this summer regarding the stolen election. Well, according to Ashley St. Clair, she said, she said that a few weeks ago, or at least a few weeks ago, if not a little bit more, that the election was stolen, and she was told that by or Leon, her baby daddy. Basically, they texted back and forth about it with his 10,000 space lasers. And she thinks it was, I believe I don't know if she said it directly or not, but it's very strong suggestion that happened. So yeah, and more will come of that, and from other people. But Ashley St. Clair already spilled the beans there. Good on her, huh? Keelan says, heard of high school students protesting Turning Point in their schools and being successful in shutting them down. Yes, I heard that happened. Was it Alabama or Tennessee, somewhere in the South? I think Alabama, maybe. Yeah, they're not having it. It's falling apart. It's completely falling apart. There's so much shady stuff going on with uh, anybody associated with TPUSA. And a huge connection, I heard, allegedly, with Russia, to the point where, like, the founder was recruited when he was really young by, is it Tyler Boyer or something? Allegedly was recruited by Putin when he was like 18 on he was on a Mormon mission or something in Russia. And then there's a photograph of him and Erica Kirk at the Orange One's first ever rally. It's pretty deep. It's pretty bad. Kathy, I don't know if I can answer your question. Are you talking about TL or TL Cho? Is that somebody else, like a Venezuelan leader or something? I'm woefully ignorant. I really apologize. BG California says, will Shady step down before the midterms, or will or Gina remove him? Is Ruby going to be VP? Yeah, things are really falling apart for Vance. Shady, Fancy Pants Vance. All the guys are saying yes, but they see, or maybe this is just me, but they see the Orange One not being here for very much longer on this planet and making his transition very soon. They see him here on his birthday, and they've been saying that all along when asked, but not much longer after that. And when he goes, they still think the Democrats are going to step in, like Kamala. I know this sounds pie in the sky, but they still see Kamala being given back her presidency. Well, she did win. Not even allegedly, she did win. Apyap says, it seems like Ashley has moved on to other TMZ like T. Is anyone doing anything with that information? I really don't know right now. I saw Election Alliance talking about it last week, and I believe, yes, I don't believe that it's just gone under the under the wings. I think that it is still being. I think, well, to tell you the truth, I think that a lot of countries already know. I don't think it was a big shock. I think it was known, even by our government, but the way that they set it up, it's like our arms were tied behind our back. We couldn't do anything about it. Everything was set up so that we just had to succumb to it. But it will rise up. Oh, this is so cool. They're showing me it rising. Like, you know how like a sea monster rises up from the ocean, like in the movies and stuff, and it's there. like a big monster for the GOP, like it all of a sudden, like something that's been underwater for a very long time is coming out of water, and we see all of it. We see the whole of it. That's what they're. Does that make sense? That's what they're showing me. So we will see it. It the mainstream media, which again I say, and I said at the beginning, allegedly anyway, is owned by other countries and the billionaires and by people who want to gaslight us. So of course they're not going to pick it up. They don't want to. Well, it's not in their interest to. They would rather suppress it. But that doesn't mean that it isn't gone from human awareness or not being investigated. And we have to be really careful with how not well in a good sense, but how like they meaning the administration and whomever's running this country have been how they've been able to completely own reality. If we take our reality from the social, no, from the mainstream media, they put out there whatever they want to put out there. And they will continue to do that until they lose ownership and they no longer have the power to distort reality. But that doesn't mean reality isn't still reality. It just means we have to be really careful about our perceptions if we take, the gaslighting in as reality, because we really have to be careful about it. They own the majority of the if not all, 90% of the mainstream channels now. But that is not going to be successful forever. They will not own reality forever because it's not going to be allowed. The guides say, yeah, that is a big issue, right? And whoever owns reality or owns reality, whoever owns, the media or the perception of reality, is extremely powerful. But they're not 100% powerful, and they will fall. Because I see them, the billionaires falling, like they have a tower moment, or not just a moment, but a tower in their future that they built, they've constructed, and that will topple. And they'll be all on that tower, and it will topple down. Just looking at BG says, chill the champagne. Woohoo! We're willing it. We're bringing it in, by the way, just the human desire and craving for truth, our craving, our prayers, our what we desire, that we pull it in. We're part of it, at least pulling in, restoring truth to us, to our families, to our country, to the world. And it's interesting, like with AI, I was listening to a podcast, and it's not very popular, it seems, with the majority of the people, and especially the youth, because it's taken away their jobs and it's robbing them of authenticity, and they don't like it. And you can't have a product, even something like AI, without a consumer base that is really kind of, opening up its arms to it. So there's going to be a huge, and I think it's already happening, a rejection of AI. Not that AI doesn't have a purpose and it's not useful, but not in the way that the tech bros see it, which is completely taking over the function of a human, taking over our work, taking over our lives, and somehow we're just secondary. That is, what we're going to spend our money on it. That's not how it's going to be. And I love the fact that Gen Z and the younger generations are turning their back on it. And apparently, Jeff Bezos gave a graduation speech, and he was booed, and he was shocked that he was booed. by many, many people. It's our choice. We have to wake up also to know that the future is our choice. If we choose to have like data centers destroying our country and the world and AI, being our master, that's something we don't have to, we can reject that. We're the consumers, right? We don't have to choose that way. Humans don't have to choose that path. I think that they like Bezos and those guys. They're so into data, our own data, and advertising, and trying to manipulate the markets and manipulate the consumer world. They forget that there's humans on the other side. There's pushback, and there's the capacity for the majority of people to go, no, we don't want that. We don't choose that. We're going to create something different. Because we're the majority. I say this. I say this in every reading, but Nor, and I don't mean to shame you at all. I don't read on anything personal on this channel. If you want a personal reading with me, look in the description box. There's a phone number and there's also an email. Just contact me there because your business is your business. It's private. So I don't read publicly on private things. But you weren't to know that, so don't worry. I'm just telling you. I'd be saying, I just put my champagne back in the fridge. Why did you put your champagne back in the fridge, Ivy? Thielen says, what will be revealed with investigation of paper mill explosion in Washington State? I've heard about that. And many people died, right? Heard allegedly, heard Industrial Safety Inspection Agency was one of the casualties of 45 gutting everything. Yeah, that's what happens when you gut necessary, safety measures like that. And that's going to have to be repaired, right? All over this country. So many things he's done that's allowed just egregious. Leslie saying, just put the bubbly back in the fridge. Carolyn says they haven't thought that through. Wildflower says, I love the young generation booze AI. Me too. Yeah, it's fantastic. I think that, I was just getting the sense that these tech bros, they think it's the same generations as the generations that kind of grew up through the Epstein what can I say here? With Epstein and like the attitude of people around Epstein and ignoring, the horrible, heinous crimes that were happening to their victims. It's not the same. It's not the same attitude. Things are changing. The times they are changing. And, astrologically, Aquarius is bringing that in big time, especially Pluto and Aquarius. And the people born during this time. It's different. It's a different time, different age. And we're going to see more and more of the blowback or pushback to the tech bros and to the MAGA and all of that. And MAGA is just very tiny now. I see so many podcasters interviewing ex-MAGA, talking about or ex-MAGA. So many MAGA are ex now because of being lied to and being harmed, being casualties of MAGA policy and the orange one. Celtic Seer, hi, says the atmosphere is picking up momentum come the end of June. July and August will be quite eventful on the astrological forefront. People will no longer be tolerant of past misgivings. Bring out the champagne again. Thank you, guys. Maybe you can wait to the end of June. Yay! I feel it resonates so strongly with me. Just people saying no, no, this isn't the way we're going to go. And we don't care. We don't care, we don't care about being thought of. Like it's no longer like just people on the fringe who uh, people think are weird, or it's the majority now of people who are picking up that Aquarian energy and standing strong. We don't need to be like everybody else. We don't need to look this way or to um, be like everybody else. We can be individuals, we can stand on our own. We can take care of ourselves. And we don't need to have everything, the same things that everybody else has. We can forge a new path because we've got the innovations, we've got the potential, we've got the desire. We are limitless in our ability to create new things and manifest. I guess that's just intuition. Yeah. Just hope. Celtic Seer says tech pros are mainly composed of Generation X. A few are of the millennial class, such as Sam Altman, who lacks any semblance of integrity whatsoever. Isn't he in trouble right now? I don't remember. I just heard something today about I don't know, lawsuit or something like that. I don't remember what it was. I was kind of not paying that much attention. But yeah, Sam Altman. Don't you wish these guys, including Sam, would just like head to Mars? Like they've been talking about it for so long. Just you got the rockets, you got the money. Just take off already. Just go. Not that Mars wants you. They'll get to Mars, and Mars is like, nope, you are not allowed here. No way, bro. Yeah, these tech bros just I see total loss for them, like losing everything. I think I'm buffering here. I'm sorry. Can you still hear me? Come on. What my internet connection looks like. Looks good. Um,